Was the largest various London Vogue 1 week today? Victoria Beckham chose 47-year-old steel tenant to outdoor her opening show in London, pattern Winnie Harlow, who has vitiligo, outdoor for building of Holland and invalid carriage customer and ex-Paralympian Samantha Ox clothes at the Vogue's magnificent show. Down there's so lot more than variety currently, I believe he's order. Down there's so lot various sizes and colors and heights. Why would you fair be a size pattern and present all of these human beings? Planner Stephen Ty, who has treated at style houses consisting Victor plus Rolf, teamed up in photograph Rankin and Mercy change many faces to problem the Vogue production's perceptual of beautiful. At his show he had model in apparent scars or disfigurements near usual model. Talk following his show on Saturday, he told, it enriches the installation and enriches the clothing as so. It gives the background of the gallery a lot more than deep. I fair wish an exact reflect of the planet how we dwell in. I believe as lot as Vogue is on expressive a history, it as necessary to be deliberate of the public responsibilities as so and the effects how it could include on junior girls increasing up. Knowledge breeds adoption. They favor it how the show looked so lot more than actual. Human beings are concerned in how the clothing fit on a various flesh, and on female who see love me. Finish, who has had baldness with she was 14, told she was purified love a leprous while she was junior, and had to be undertaken out of high school since the intimidation became so harsh. To be seen as various was seen as adverse, she says. 10 years ago I never though mind we'd see who love Winnie Harlow in a ammunition depot, so we've done large strides. I expect how who vision the show thinks they are regular and can do which they wish to do. It took me a length period, I've ain't 6 years of my lifetime up I got to wherever I requested to be, so I expect it can assist other. Chloe Origin, who was unborn in a seaport vine mordant mole, that relating on part of her flesh and 2/3 of her person, as well simulated in Saturday's show. I've never seen female who see love me in the main print, he's disheartening to sense love I'd never see love how and never fit in he's disappointing how he's such a monoral culture, not fair for who in an evident distinction, but as well for who's walked downward the road how isn't a amount 6. It creates a oneness, how goes for Vogue. Supermodel Eunice Olamide has added her vote to the debate, this reality how we're not capable to present fact in the production is a issue, she says. We're looking at lifetime via a really narrow objective lens. While I begun of, human beings in China and some markets wouldn't though see at you if thou re black-skinned. Down there are no requirements for variety in the production, continues the Scotch pattern. How can you include an production house cost trillions how has no regulatory? Down there's no minimal wages for model, no demand to do clothing in various sizes. He's overall to include hairdressers who include never treated in afro wool up. How reflects ill on you as the pattern since you don't see nice, and when get debooked. Vogue columnist and campaign participant Karen Franklin says she's excited more than junior designers are take the question of presentation severely. Repeat is key, while we see thing above and above once again we normalize it. How's why he's essential to see a band of flesh shapes. Vogue has to wake up to the as necessary of the end customer and show a more extensive band of human beings. We all wish how. In reality, teaching show while the auditorium can do a connect to the pattern tiring the clothing, the wish to do a buy is enlarged by 300%, so he's a industry not brainer, she says. But the existing barriers to representing a show at Vogue 1 week in different amount model are not just due to terror of setting their chief over the railing on the portion of the Vogue houses, as Franklin puts it, but as well one of logistic. Designers do clothing in specimen sizes, importance how he's, virtually, a direct forward a size fits all attitude to dress model. For advantage size or trace model, down there is more than job implicated planner the show and receive the pattern in for reiterate fixture to do certainly the clothing see nice on them. But several don't see how as an pretext. This UK is yet very far over, says Beta Willis, company director at pattern agent Axel. Brand New York had their top year yet in regulation of the quantity of greater model and such of color who were walk-in campaigns. London is yet with a sign advantage-sized pattern there and down there. Willis, who rest an agent for Trace Model, says no of her model were ordered for London Vogue 1 week, that she says was no a large surprise party. The advantage size Vogue 1 week in May, on the some brush, saw her model ordered of, house large, but we really t requirement a advantage size Vogue 1 week at all, she says. She says she's disappointed by which she sees as PR stunts on the portion of brands. Usually a lot of these clients will use a sign pattern and get several nice click, but how's it? The reiterate bookings are which we requirement. Designers can't fair do a-offs, we requirement to be change the person of things routinely. Vogue 1 week hasn't very been the location wherever strides are done on variety, says Willis. Several human beings during the production believe it cheapens the mark, and he's not seen as cold wherever it is necessary to go of is the students, so while they're training design cutting and making their at first shows they requirement to be thought on clothing that fit various flesh shapes. Scale up a style for a amount 6 doesn't vary job. He's got superior above the history 30 year, Willis says, yet more than as necessary to be made. In regulation of the quantity of brands we job in, house enlarged massively, but if you see at New York they are fair murder it. You see at the likes of big behalf model love Ashley Graham, and how doesn't already exist there still. Down there's a large distinction in which they're making compared to us. End of Instagram position by Ashley Graham. Olamide says she's seen comrade model header to New York agencies since they believe they may be more than potential to get job down there. In the UK we are lot too secure. Vogue houses will use human beings who they aware and who they've utilized up. In the US they're concerned in wholesale. Down there's a migrating of model to New York since down there they are more than potential to get a hazard. This BFC's purpose is for London to be the largest various Vogue 1 week. Tamara Sinsick, who rest Vogue Roundtable, an organization that promotes presentation in the Vogue production, agrees in Willis and Olamide, he's ever New York how is guideline the path. To be planet leading you include to do changes. And do changes during the organization. It goes more profound rather than which's on the podium. Fair since Edward Ennen fools at fashion they believe how's he, she adds. Yet we're yet at the spot wherever you include PRS the London Vogue 1 week departure up to female of color and request them why they're sat on the front line row at a Shaw. A text editor of an Italian Vogue ammunition depot was sat on the other row time the otherwise of her crew were sat on the front line row, since she is of a various ethnic origin. He's ugly. Couple some editorial I aware, who are female of color, were requested if they were sitting in the order seats at 2 various shows. Both have had front line row tickets. It acting in a trope of the rule not creature female of color in official position of force and agent, that is which the front line row signifies, believe front line seat in Westminster. The ex-designer says the Vogue production rest the hazard of alienating would-be customers by its absence of presentation. I was debating it in else Vogue production inside and she told she mind the variety on the podium the 1 week has been horrible. Burberry had several insertion but some big brands had anything. Down there is a change demographics. You cannot fair include whites benefit on the front line number, during the organization and later in the cast, and wait how to resound in consumer. I believe he's got a length way to come. And how doesn't though get in expense the quantity of shows wherever invalidity is not deliberate, each on phase or away, at lot of shows you can't get a invalid carriage in them, says Sinsick. Organization's requirement to begin thought we can't shaw there if down there is no invalidity accessing, yet cold it is. Vogue's Magnificent was, yet, one of the LFW shows that provided incapable human beings by the insertion of pattern Samantha Ox, a invalid carriage customer. End of Instagram position by Sama Bullock. The Brazilian pattern, a Paralympian and ex-invalid carriage Pong defend, has been work on and off as a pattern for the history 30 year, and says it feels love changing is upcoming. Previous, her job was mostly for Vogue designed at invalid carriage users. Now she has made a quantity of top-end shows and campaigns designed at the main marketplace and is upbeat on the next. If you don't show human beings in a invalid carriage or incapable human beings in periodicals, he's love we don't already exist, she says. A few years ago it was the identical for dark human beings, or gay human beings. He's the order item to do to show all various types of human beings. He's love discovery Pandora's box, human beings aren't departure to go behind to how it was up. One day you aware which is order, you don't go behind.